Hello everyone, it's Troop Gaming again. Today, I'm going to be talking about all the things that I want in Splatoon 3. Now, this isn't actually a piled consensus of everything that most people want in Splatoon 3. This is just all the things that I want in Splatoon 3. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So first, I'd like to talk about the stages in the game. Now, this won't all be adding new stages to the game. Some of this will be adding new things to the stages that are already in the game, like adding a bridge to Hammerhead Bridge. I mean, yeah, sure, it is a bridge, but can you really call it a Hammerhead Bridge without having a bridge in it? I mean, the Splatoon 1 version of this thing was so much better. Also, could we please make Mahi Mahi Resort bigger? I mean, sure, it gets bigger when the water rises or falls or whatever it does, but still, the stage sucks. Alright, so those are really my only two nitpicks against the stages that are already in the game. What about the stages that aren't in the game or need added to the game? Well, first of all, I'd like to add Shifty Station back to the Splatfest stages. I mean, the Shifty Stations were good. Why'd they have to get rid of them? The main ones that I'm thinking that need to get added back are ones like Bunker Games or Furlers in the Ashes. Those kinds of ones. The good ones. Some other stages that I would like to see added in Splatoon 3 are Urchin Underpass, Moray Towers, or Blackbelly Skate Park. The reason I'd want these added into Splatoon 3 is because, well, Urchin Underpass is just a good stage. And the other two is because I kind of want Splatoon to have an original stage. Sort of like how all the games of Super Smash Bros. Have the stage Battlefield, I'd kind of like to see that in Splatoon as well. Also, they need to add the good stages from Splatoon 2 back. Like, they need to add Starfish Main Stage and the Reef, and stages like Humpback Pump Track, the good ones. Well, that's all I have for the stages. But what weapons do they need to add back to the game? Or, what weapons do they need in the game, period? So, I'd like to start off with some new weapons that they need in the game. And I'd like to start off with the Splatanas. Now, the two that they have in the game are great, but I think they need more. So I was wondering, what if there was a Splatana that swung kind of fast, like the Splatana Wiper, but it had more range than the Splatana Stamper, but it doesn't deal that much damage. Even the charge strikes don't one-shot. I think that would be like a pretty good midline Splatana weapon, sort of like the Dually Squelchers, where they have a lot of range, but they don't deal that much damage. Also, I kind of got to thinking, over the past 3 games, there have only been 2 types of brushes throughout the entire game. So I was thinking of a third type of brush, where it swings like really slow, but it has a lot of damage and a lot of range too. The only problem was I couldn't really think of a name for it, since the other 2 brushes are the Ink Brush and the Octo Brush. I needed to think of some kind of creature from Splatoon. So I was kind of thinking of either the Grizz Brush or the Mammal Brush, since those are the 2 new enemies in the game. I was also thinking of 2 new stringers. The first new stringer I was thinking of is sort of like the Tri-Stringer, except it has way more range, it fires 5 shots instead of 3, and it takes a lot longer to charge up than the regular Tri-Stringer. The second new stringer I was thinking of is also kind of like the Tri-Stringer, except the shots curve. So I was thinking was, the center shot goes straight, while the shots on the left and right go left and right. I was thinking that the first stringer could be more like a backline weapon, whereas the second stringer could be more like a supportive weapon. In Splatoon 3, we currently have 3 types of weapons that can change range. The Squeezer, the Flings-a-Roller, and the Ballpoint Splatling. Well, I was thinking of 3 more weapons that could change range. A pair of dualies, a Brella, and a blaster. So the way that I'm thinking that they'd work is, the dualies, if you're not dodge rolling, they have short range. When you are dodge rolling, they have longer range. The Brella would be like, if the Brella was on, it has short range, but when you fire the Brella off, it has long range. And the blaster was kind of hard to think of, but the first few shots have long range, and then after that they have short range. So if you want to keep your long range shot, you have to fire, stop firing, and then continue firing. So earlier I mentioned that there were some weapons I wanted back. But when I mentioned that, I was more thinking of kits, but now I want to use the kits for a later video. So this will only be the weapons that I want back, and there's really only one weapon that the Splatoon developers got rid of, which were the dual squelchers. And they were kind of good, but they got replaced by the dually squelchers. So I mean, it would be kind of cool if we got them back, but I really don't care. Now, Splatoon 3 was supposed to be the game of customization, where we could customize anything, or a lot of things. But there's a few things that I don't think they did well enough as far as customization. So there's a couple things that I want. So one of the things that we can't really customize that much, well, we can kind of customize it, but I think there should be more options, is the victory emotes. We should definitely get the ones from Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 back. Those ones were actually good, and they could be like the flip out animation, where depending on what weapon you use, you'd have a different animation. Another thing I was thinking about allowing you to customize is the ink tank. The ink tanks from Splatoons 1 and 2 are kinda good, and also they should let you have the ink tanks from the story mode or the training area, or the Splatlands. Those ones were actually kinda good. And also too, it really is supposed to be the game of customization, we should definitely get customizable ink tanks. I'd also like some more locker customizations. Now, at levels 15 and 30, your locker does get taller, but I'm thinking that our lockers should also get wider too. The maximum width should be about the length of the longest weapon in the game. Whether that's a roller or a sniper, I don't know, but it should be the width of the longest weapon in the game. Also, in the game, the amiibos are kinda worthless. All they do is just give you gear, and you can take pictures with them. They don't really give you any songs or games like they used to do in the older Splatoons. So what I'm thinking is, what if after you scan them and play a bunch of battles, what if they give you their little amiibo things and you can put them in your locker? That would be kinda cool, cause well, they're toys, I guess. Well, those are all the ideas that I have for this video. If you have any more ideas, or want to make any changes to the ideas that I have already put in this video, please put your ideas in the comments down below. And with that being said, this is Troop Gaming, signing off.